this week's best MMA bets. We're talking UFC 279, Chimaev versus Diaz. We're going to go through locks, dogs, props / value bets and finish it off with the parlays. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. Turn those post notifications on and make sure to share the video as well. We will start it off with the lock section as always. Lock number one, the line really isn't good, but you have to be super high confidence on Jailton Almeida to win his fight here against Anton Turkish. Short notice replacement. Turkish known for the grappling, but he's going to be fighting a dangerous Jailton Almeida, who to me seems like a problem for a lot of fighters, especially now he's like making this real move to heavyweight. Granted, this fight at 220, so I guess he's definitely not going to be like an oversized heavyweight. I see him probably now cutting to 220, but I'd be curious to see what he was going to weigh in at for the Shamil Abdurakhimov fight. As far as the lines, Jailton minus 649 best value, and then his opponent Anton Turkish plus 525. I'm picking Jailton Almeida to win. I'm going to respect the jiu-jitsu skills of Anton Turkish, and I'm leaning towards Jailton to win by KO TKO at plus 350. For Almeida to win by sub, it's expected. Minus 109 is the best value line, but it's more around that minus 115, even upwards of minus 140 range. I feel like Almeida KO TKO is possible, and it's a little bit of like a sniper bet. I think he could get some ground and pound off. Turkish may turn the back and give up the choke if he's getting beaten on badly, but I could see him getting TKO'd on the floor. Winner is Jailton Almeida. As far as the over-unders, I'd say under 2.5 at minus 300, but I don't like the under 1.5 as much. I think Turkish could at least go a round and a half, 2 rounds. Like he may last a little bit longer than people are expecting. He's a solid fighter and he's unbeaten as a pro, so you got to respect the man. Next lock, this one is going to be Jake Collier. Another one where it's wide line, and I'll be honest, I don't want to be throwing heavy at Jake Collier at this line. Problem is, he's in a very favorable matchup. He outsizes Chris Barnett. I think he outstrikes Chris Barnett. He's the quicker guy of the two at this point. Chris Barnett is known for his, crazy-ass style, but he's fighting a pretty decent heavyweight that could have beat Carlos Felipe, could have beat Andrei Arlovsky. Jake Collier is a decent fighter, and I think Chris Barnett is fun to watch, but I don't know how good. Especially that Boudet fight, that doesn't age well. Boudet, I know he got the win in the last one, but he didn't get the win. Like, that was a robbery decision, which he clearly got outstruck the entire time. I think Jake Collier can outstrike a Barnett. I think he can win. Oddly, I'm leaning towards decision. I feel like Barnett does have a pretty decent chin, and I don't think Collier is a huge puncher, but he's also pretty durable on his own. The knockout loss to Tom Aspinall, I mean, that's Aspinall, man. He's an absolute monster. It's not a bad loss for Jake Collier at this point. Looking at Collier to win a decision, plus 180, I do think we go over a round and a half, which is in that minus 170 range. I like that. Over 1.5, I think, is pretty likely here. I respect the durability on both sides, but I think Collier is the better fighter. The money line's a bit wide. Minus 390 is the best you're going to find for the money line. The next of the locks, this one is going to be ladies matchup. Irene Aldana over Macy Chiasson. I do think Aldana is clearly the better fighter. If Chiasson is to win, I think it's going to be cage control. Just clinched up, holding her against the cage, kind of like what she did against Norma Dumont in the last one, which is snooze fest. Irene Aldana is not an easy girl to hold against the cage. She definitely can box. I don't think Chiasson's going to be able to hold range and outstrike her for 3 rounds. I think Aldana will find punches. She's known as a hard puncher. I could see Aldana getting the KO. I'm leaning towards Aldana by decision, official pick-wise, but if you look at the line here, Aldana KO TKO plus 450, I think is a smart play. If you're looking for a bit of a sprinkle, she can crack. For a girl, she can crack. Like, women's MMA, there's certain girls that can crack. Aldana's one of them. Knockout win over Kunitskaya, the last one. Knocked out Ketlin Vieira, who went 5 rounds with Holly Holm and outstruck her. Aldana's dangerous on the feet, and Chiasson can be cracked. She can be hit. She's upright, and granted, she's not a bad striker, but not great offensive output. Like, I just don't think she has the speed in her hands either to connect a lot on Aldana. I think Aldana's going to look good with the boxing, and I like that knockout prop bet. I like Aldana to win at minus 170. Also, very confident lock with these ladies here, especially at a quality line like this. The next of the locks. This one I love. Hakeem Dawodu, minus 210 over Julian Rosa. I think Dawodu is going to expose Rosa. I know Rosa ends up getting good wins, man. But he's so hittable. In certain styles, I think will destroy him. And Hakeem Dawodu has that style. The way he picked apart Mike Trizano, I think he finds a ton of openings on Rosa. Looking at the line, minus 210 is a good play for Dawodu money line. I don't think it's a bad idea. Rosa, upwards of that plus 190 money. I think Dawodu can get the knockout here. Dawodu by KO, TKO, plus 250. I think we're getting the KO in this one, and I think Dawodu's sleeping him. The chin is high too of Rosa. He got knocked out. I know this is way back, but he has been knocked out before. Artem knocked him out on tough. That chin's going to get touched by somebody like a Dawodu, man. I think he's going to find it. I know he's got awkward fights and he finds ways to win. It's not going to happen with a consistent fighter like Hakeem Dawodu, who's extremely hard to finish. Hakeem Dawodu for the win. And he had a really good fight against Evloev too. Even though he lost dominantly, he didn't lose that terribly. I like Hakeem to get it done with the striking, and I think he'll look pretty damn impressive as well. Now, I really feel like, as far as the lock section, those are the fights that I truly want to lock up as absolute locks. Now, I want to talk Khamzat Chimaev. He's a very high confidence pick. I know that. But betting-wise, we're talking betting here. You can't put him in lock, let me go throw something on, maybe parlay him. No, you can't. It's minus 1,000, the best value you'll find, minus 999, minus 1,800 over at Bet Online. That's crazy. Nate Diaz is still a fighter. We'll talk about the next section. Let's jump to the dog section. If you guys haven't yet, smash the like button. And let's start the dog section off with some heat. It's not an official pick on Nate Diaz, but at plus 900, you got a guy with an incredible gas tank versus Khamzat Chimaev, who goes out there and destroys most opponents, has a competitive fight with Gilbert Burns, which he did clearly win. But how's he going to look 4-5? Let's say if he can't get Nate out of there. What if he goes too crazy for the stoppage? Nate Diaz at plus 900 is a viable underdog play. And especially if you start looking inside of the props here, Nate Diaz to win via submission, plus 1,900. Plus 735 would be a scam. That'd be too low. I'd want to play plus nearly 1,000. My bookie has him at plus 550, but Bet Online, plus 900? Nate Diaz is still a fighter, man. He's got a ton of experience. You can't completely count him out here. Yes, Chimaev probably wins by KO, TKO. That's minus 120. But if you're looking for the Hail Mary and you want to shoot a shot, we have to go hot with Diaz here. Let's look. Do we have Diaz to win? Let's see. Do we have 3, 4, and 5? Diaz wins in rounds 3 or 4, plus 3,500. Diaz wins in 5 or decision, plus 1,500. I like 3 or 4 also if you were going crazy dog Diaz attack. Realistically, Khamzat Chimaev wins. But we have to acknowledge the betting side. It's Nate Diaz, and it's never impossible. Chimaev could gas. Let's talk some more underdogs. I think we have some good ones. The next one, we're going to tone it down with the heat just a little bit on this next matchup. It doesn't bring that same intensity, but it's still on the main card, and it's a really good fight to open up. It's Johnny Walker, Ian Cutelaba. Yes, it's concerning to bet Johnny Walker money line. He's plus 185, but he is a viable underdog who's known for stoppages. Something that I like in this fight, though, under 2.5 rounds, it's minus 230. I think it probably comes, it's got to come through. These guys can't go long. They're not going long. Under 2.5 is a casher. Under 1.5 is actually pretty viable. Minus 120, best value. Fight ends in round 1 or 2, minus 250. That's expected. Let's see. Inside of the distance for Johnny Walker is plus 255. Walker by KO, TKO, plus 325. A lot of people are expecting Cutelaba by knockout, plus 135. I know Walker's been chinned, as I almost knocked the mic down here. Walker's been chinned before. Bad. The Jamal Hill fight was really, really bad. He got destroyed. He still went distance with Thiago Santos. Yes, he's been dropped. Ryan Spann put him down. Krylov, he goes distance. Loses first round knockout to Corey Anderson. But Corey's a beast. Kutelava's never been that consistently good against top guys. He's a blitz type fighter, is extremely good wrestling and ground and pound, but he can get a little bit tired later. He can get touched up too. And I think Johnny Walker could catch him with the knee. Walker KO TKO plus 325. If you like the Walker money line, it's plus 185. The fight going under 2.5 at minus 230 is a lock in my opinion. I'm very confident in that under 2.5. But we are picking Johnny Walker as a valuable underdog here this week in a good fight. Next of the dogs, we'll talk Daniel Rodriguez, plus 170 for him. He's in a very competitive fight with Kevin Holland. I'll be honest, I don't love the bet of that, but over 1.5, minus 163. Even fight goes distance, plus 150. Kevin Holland's pretty damn durable. Daniel Rodriguez has never been finished. Does Rodriguez knock him out? I don't think so. Does Rodriguez sub him? Probably not. Does Kevin Holland knock out Rodriguez? You got to lean no, but he could get stunned, club, and sub. This is a toss-up fight. I really think this one is like a true, more pick'em style matchup. There's definitely a path to victory for Kevin Holland. Daniel Rodriguez is not like a supreme confidence underdog attack. Plus 170, he was the pick, but it's like 53% to damn 47 on my end of confidence because it's a real fight with Kevin Holland. And Holland looks good at 170, but Rodriguez could be 18-0 very easily if not for bad decisions. You have to kind of lean Daniel Rodriguez to win a competitive-ass fight. Fight goes distance, plus 150. Sneaky prop bet, I think, there. As far as Rodriguez to win a decision, nearly plus 500. Holland by decision is plus 260. What's Holland by sub? Plus 700, Holland by sub. It's not impossible. Holland locks up a sub. Club and sub. But we're picking the D-Rod side as a valuable dog and ultimately a super competitive fight. The next dog I will talk about, I personally am a little bit more hesitant as the week's gone on. I like the possibility of Danielle Wolf striking a lot here, but can she defend a Norma Dumont takedown? Even though Norma's not great at it, I talked about it, I don't think Norma Dumont has very good offensive wrestling. Could Wolf get a knockout? She's never won by KO. Plus 330, she's a good line here. But there's a chance Dumont takes her to the ground and just beats the hell out of her. Does she chin her on the feet and knock her out? Danielle Wolf's got a lot of boxing experience. It's hard for me to see Dumont really beating her up standing. I think she has to wrestle here. This is why I kind of have a bit of confidence in Wolf. If she has takedown defense, this could just be an ugly fight that she steals. Plus 330. I kind of like the money line only on Danielle Wolf. Method of victory, very clouded. She's not a girl that finishes fights. Wolf by decision, plus 540. But do I see her lasting 5 rounds with Dumont, who's probably going to attempt takedowns at some point? Or does Wolf end up getting the KO? First knockout win, plus 830 for Wolf by KO. I like the chances betting-wise, but light play. I'm not supreme confidence on Danielle Wolf. I think Norma Dumont could definitely beat her. She's an experienced fighter. And Danielle Wolf's not young, but she is incredibly fit. And she has good boxing. And it seems like the takedown defense is there. Tanisha Tennett's a solid fighter who she beat. Barely beat, though, by this much. Maybe even could have went the other way. Could be 0-1. Let's see what Norma Dumont. Not necessarily a great favorite play because Dumont's a huge favorite in this fight. But there's some plus money maybe to be made. The next dog, and this one truly the final dog we'll talk about here, it has to be Tony Ferguson mentioned. Not necessarily saying I love the bet. I'm picking Leach, and I have a fair amount of confidence that he does win the fight. But I want to mention plus 265 T Ferg. If he's on, maybe. Win by submission, Tony Ferguson. You're looking at big plus money for Ferg by sub. Nearly plus 850 best value, but plus 650 is extremely playable. Realistically, plus 165 Leach by KO. I actually think he gets the knockout and chins Tony Ferguson. But when I broke this fight down, I got the individual breakdowns up. I'm shouting myself up. If you guys want to check them out, I'm shouting myself out for the individuals because I brought them back. They've been out for a long time, but they're back. I mentioned how Leach probably chins him. Leach probably hits him with a massive hook. Ferguson comes in square and gets caught. But if it goes to the floor, which I think Ferguson's best chance here is actually looking to wrestle, maybe lock something up. Big plus money for it. Betting-wise, plus money. Fanhood-wise, it's like it's T-Ferg. I want to play that plus. But realistically, Leach should probably take him out here by KO. Let's jump into kind of glance over a couple of the props / value bets. The value bet that I like a lot is Darian Weeks at -122. Johan Lainez is known to gas. He hits really hard, but he's got a 1.5-minute gas tank, maybe 6 minutes. What happens then? Darian Weeks is ready for 3 rounds. He's proven it. He gave Barberena a better fight than Robbie Lawler did, right? He went to this. He could have won that fight. I'm just saying. Darian Weeks is not bad. He's not great, but he's definitely good enough. He's UFC caliber, certainly. Johan Lainez has the power of a UFC fighter. He looks like a savage out there, but he don't have the gas tank. And when it goes late and the going gets tough for a Johan Lainez, I think Darian Weeks is going to put a TKO on him. I think he's going to stop him late. I think it's going to be a tired Johan is getting touched up. He's faded out. He's got nothing left. And boom, Weeks is on him. Maybe against the cage combinations, Lainez starts to turtle up, goes down. Maybe we land a takedown. Weeks is all over him, a ground and pound. I could see Lainez just breaking with the fatigue, man. I'm going Darian Weeks to win. I love the money line. He wasn't a lock, but he's a confident pick and very good value play. Win by KO, TKO Weeks, +265. I like it later. If you do have options for later, I don't think, what do we got? We don't have it here, but you might have 3 and 4 for Weeks, KO, TKO. I actually think that's a pretty decent play. Let's see, Weeks to win in round 3, +1,050. I like Darian Weeks' chances, guys, and I think he's getting a KO, TKO in this fight. I think we're going under 2.5, which is nearly -140. I think Weeks will get a finish of a tired Johan Lainez, especially if he keeps a pretty decent pace here. Now, the next prop that I'm kind of liking, it's Reed Martinez to go long. I don't love it, but I have to mention it. Over 2.5, it's -250. It's not a great tag, but I do think these ladies are probably going the distance here. As far as the money lines, don't like either. It's +150 for Reed, and she's a game dog, certainly, but not a pick and not one that I want to throw money down on. Martinez -156 as a slight favorite in that matchup. Now, Jamie Pickett, Dennis Tulalin, I'm on Pickett, but there has to be a bit of a relative concern. What I'm kind of feeling is like you going over 1.5 at -225 is a playable option. Pickett by KO, TKO. Actually, excuse me, Pickett by decision, +245. I feel like Tulalin has a better chance of knocking him out. That's +350, but I kind of lean towards stay away from this fight. Sit back, enjoy. We got a good matchup. Maybe not one to throw down on. Eletong and Anheliger, that's a hell of a toss-up. I've been on Eletong by KO, so I will mention it, but Anheliger is very game and durable. Eletong by KO, TKO, +375, but that could come back to really bite you in the ass. I don't love this prop as much. Over a round and a half, -300. I think Anheliger, as he drops that lead hand, could get caught with an overhand, but he might have the chin and also the way that he moves to just flow with the punch well and end up going longer here. So don't underestimate Anheliger. I mean, maybe some of you guys on him as a dog. I don't hate it. I'm picking Eletong, but Anheliger could be live, and especially a decision win for Anheliger is possible here. That's +255 also. Some props to bring up. We went deep with every fight as far as talking the betting side, which that's what I like to do. I want to jump to the parlay section. If you guys haven't yet, make sure to smash the hell out of the like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Hakeem Dawodu, -225. Jake Collier, -435. Jailton Almeida, -660. That's a +105. That should probably come through, but you're not touching any valuable lines here. Besides that Dawodu fight, you're playing wide favorites. Let's remove Collier and let's remove Almeida and let's look towards a value play. +125, Aldana Dawodu, I think is a fairly likely outcome. If you wanted to add a little bit more to it, if you added in Jake Collier now, it brings you to +170, but it's really still not worth it. If we go in under, is the under 2.5 available? If it's like mainstream availability for under 2.5, I think that could be a good addition to a parlay. Johnny Walker and Ian Cutelaba going under. It's about +200. I don't think that's a bad idea. If you wanted to go dog attack and really risk it just on Johnny Walker, +500 money. But you're risking it on a guy who's very inconsistent. If I'm going dog city and dog hunting, at this point, I'd rather just lean it towards someone a bit more proven at the top. But this is going to be high risk. It's Daniel Rodriguez plus 495. As I'm saying it, I'm like, oof. Having him in the parlay would be a riskier parlay. These two, Aldana, Dawodu, as far as close money picks, I like a lot. So if you wanted to add the wider favorites in the mix here, Almeida and Collier, it brings you in that plus 200 range. I don't think it's a bad idea. You like Darian Weeks. The value is great on him. Plus 473. I'm not going absolutely nuts with the parlays here. There's some decent dog attacks, but I like it better on the money line. You try to throw it all down on a parlay, and then you end up busting yourself in the ass for it. Let's see. This Hamza Chimaev. How are we going to find him? This is what happens on best fight odds. Hamzat Colby. What do we do? Hamzat Colby. Hamzat Nick Diaz. Where's Hamzat Nate? This is best fight odds for you. They don't have Hamzat and Nate on there. That makes no sense. Doesn't matter. We don't need Hamzat in the play, so it kind of works out for the better. We don't need to play that super wide favorite. But if you were looking for Diaz, I mean, you know he'd bring you into that crazy-ass plus money. But you're just shooting lottery tickets. The plays I like the most are going to be the big four, the locks, and I think that Aldana just being played with Hakeem Dawodu is a good money line play. Be cautious with the bets, especially if you're parlaying up dogs. I lean more towards money line dog attacks. Definitely some props to play that I sniped out. I'm liking those a lot this week. Much love, my people. I hope you enjoyed. I do apologize for not going live on the late night live last night, the Tuesday show. Ended up getting late, and then I said, listen, let me get this individual fight breakdowns done. But don't think the late night live's going anywhere. And I'm going to try to do a live stream here, probably, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. I don't want to make promises, but let me know in the comments what you think of the picks. Let me know what you think of the potential bets and what are yours. If you don't have anything to say, but you just enjoy the content, drop a W in the chat as always. If you guys just want to see me sometimes go live for just like live Q&As, I'll pull them up. Let me know, because I do want to do one, especially to make up for the missed live stream Tuesday. I will be doing full UFC 279 Fight Companion. Make sure you tune into that. It should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to that one. I hope you guys enjoyed this UFC 279 betting breakdown and another episode of this week's Best MMA Bets. Smash those likes. Subscribe if you're new. Make sure to share the video as well and turn those post notifications on. And check out the recent content. Those individual fight breakdowns, I'm pushing them a bit. Check them out. They're going to become a main staple. I want to bring them back, and I'm happy to. Much love. Thank you, guys. Peace.